revenge, anger, how they spoke to my mom, what they did to my mother, what they did to my dad, what they did to me. I hated them. I wanted death on them. And then I took my vengeance out on all of them. I tracked them all down and f***ed them all up.
Did you see him remembering at that moment who you were?
Yes.
And he realized that this was payback after all those years?
He knew, and he was going, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, you, come here. And then I got to a point where I take zero tolerance. When I was doing this, I had 21 police officers watching me alone.
Chet Sandhu was one of Britain's baddest gangsters. Raised by Indian immigrants in a small town in northern England, throughout his childhood, Chet was the victim of verbal and physical attacks by racist white gangs until he grew up and became a gangster himself. First, he was a steroid dealer and soon became the biggest importer of illegal steroids into the United Kingdom. He eventually got busted in Spain and spent 5 years inside of the most violent supermax prison where he worked for the Spanish cartels. When he returned to Britain, he formed one of the most notorious criminal firms in the country, importing coke and running brothels in towns and cities throughout northern England. He even made millions importing untaxed wine and liquor from mainland Europe. Chet has insane stories from every facet of the British underworld. He wrote a book about his life as a gangster entitled Self-Made Dues Paid, available on Amazon right now. And for more war stories with Chet that will blow your mind, go over to patreon.com/TheConnect Show. And just a reminder, you can get the fully uncensored episodes there as well as on Spotify. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to love this bloke, Chet Sandhu, right here on The Connect with Johnny Mitchell.
Spanish prison was a nightmare. I got stabbed there twice. I stabbed somebody once. When he sliced me here, I instantly just stuck him hard, bam, straight in the middle. This is the extremes I got to. I never thought I would be one of them people, ever. I thought if I could go through that, and if I could make money there where I made it. The worst jail, the worst wing from murderers, killers. You can make money anywhere.
That's when I see lights behind me start to flash. And I didn't even think, I just hit it. I was driving like my life depended on it. And then I parked the car, hopped out, closed the door, and I started running.
And he pulls out a burner, shank, it's like 6 inches. And then he passes it to me. And he goes, here, that's yours. Don't ever leave the cell block without this. He was the reason I made it out of that place alive.
You know what I've noticed? I've been here 2 days, my first time in Britain. There's no Mexicans. All the Mexican labor is done by Indians here. It's wild. Why do Indians come to Britain and less than they come to America?
I think possibly it's easier to get into England. A lot of these Indians here they go from India into Europe. And once you're in Italy, Europe, they can get their ways to here. Visas, this, that, the work. Family members will vouch for them, say, okay, I'm going to give them a job. A lot of them come illegally.
Right.
Illegally. Containers, which I have some information on, what I was involved in, but I gave it a buy. It wasn't for me. People smuggling.
Who are the human smugglers, by the way, in Britain?
Who are they?
Yeah, like in America, it's mostly Mexican cartels,
right?
Collaborating with American gangs to smuggle people in through the southern border. What does that look like in Britain? Right, in Britain, it's whoever people you are bringing in. Like if there's people coming in from Vietnam, it'll be a Vietnamese person. If they're coming in from Albania, them areas, it'll be an Albanian gang. If they're coming from India, it'll be an Indian person that controls it. Right. The normal situation is 10 grand a pop and we bring you over in a container. I was talking to these people and they were saying, do you want to get involved in this, that, there's this money made. Okay, to me, the stats didn't work out. Yeah, they said, but what we really do is this, we get about 30 of them in a container, 10 grand a piece, and we pop them all. Pop them all, take them to the sea, and they never get to the destination. So we don't have to actually do any work of taking them there. That happens all the time. Wow. Yeah, they just pop them. And they just murdered 30 people and take $300,000. Yes, because they're all illegal. They're not meant to be where they are in the first place. The crime cannot be reported to anybody. They just take the container out of the sea and stick them up for food fish. And they told you they were going to do this. This is what they do, yeah. Who are these gangs doing this? These gangs, right? This was are these Albanians? No, this guy was an Indian guy. There were people from India.
who I was working with.
Okay.
This is what he was doing. He says, sometimes we do bring them across. He says, but sometimes it's easier to just, if it's hard work, pop them. And they never get to the destination. And the families, they'll say, well, where are they? Where are they? And they'll say, well, they must have got lost at sea or whatever.
Or they drowned.
Yeah, right. One of them.
So did that not sit well with you when you found out that was how these guys worked?
Yeah. I wasn't want to be involved in anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, America does everything better, including crime.
Yeah.
You know, every time I leave the United States, I just am more convinced that it is God's gift to mankind. But anyways, you grew up, you're Indian. You grew up in the north of Britain around almost no other Indians. It was mostly white.
Yes.
You grew up in Hertfordshire?
I was born in Hertfordshire. Lived in Huddersfield, my schooling, and then moved up north when I was 15 years old to Newcastle, yeah.
Okay, so you grew up, basically your adolescence and on was in Newcastle.
Yeah. And
that was hard. This was in the 80s?
Yeah.
And what was that like?
80s, it was like it was a shock to the system for everybody involved. Where we went and where we got the shop, a lot of these people had never even seen a brown face.
Yeah.
It was something new, but we took over these shops because the white people there did not have a clue how to run a business. The early closing, the pricing was all wrong, the staff were laxy-daisy, the alcohol section, they weren't pushing it, had no offers on, no this, but we come into the market, we're Asians and we know how to make money. Yeah. We know how to make a shop good, and our shops were packed, bam, bam, bam.
What kind of shops?
It was off-license.
What does that mean?
Off-license, we sold alcohol, we sold fresh meat, and produce, just like what you can, daily food, frozen food we had, meat, fresh meat. It was like a supermarket, but like a small one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was hard work. When I went there, the racial abuse I was getting, it was terrible on a daily basis. Yeah. Just getting called Paki, black. People would not put money in my hand because they didn't want to touch a brown hand. They would throw it on the counter. Wow. Just like that, it was.
Were you the first generation of Indian immigrants?
Yes.
So you got the worst of the kind of white British working class hatred, racism.
Yes. We got the full brunt of it. Now it's a different story now. Things have changed, but we were the original ones there. Yeah. And we were in a white world, so it was just all on us, and we had to take it. And back then, it wasn't even illegal. It was only became an offense in 1984. Tony Blair made it that it's illegal to call somebody a black bastard or a patty. Mm-hmm. Before that, totally fine. You are allowed to do that.
I guess black, which is kind of a fun phrase to say, a black. But
when a white person says it to somebody who's black,
oh sure, with intention, right. But I imagine if I was an Indian guy, I would call my other Indian friends a black. But like how
we do that,
right?
Yes.
So do you consider that like the N-word, like the way that Black Americans use the N-word as a term of endearment with their other black friends? Is that how like Indians in Britain would call can you call your friend a Paki? Is that like?
Yes, we say things like that. Yeah,
right.
Or a pack, or a pat, my brother. Stuff like that,
And you guys,
but we're allowed to say that.
Right.
Yeah, nobody else can say.
So when I just said black, I wasn't calling you a black. I was just saying black. Did that do something to you? Like the way if you were a black American and I said the N-word and you didn't know me, it might like.
Well, yes, of course, yeah. It's
like they put up there
as well. Yeah, it's like if you say that to somebody, you can only say it. Like my white friends, I have white friends, and they call me a patty. You patty, this and that. Oh, yeah. But that's a laugh, right? Because they know me. I know them, and they're laughing with me. So that's acceptable.
But you actually experienced that hatred behind that word.
Yes,
like young Indians in London now. I mean. There's more Indians than white people here. Like they don't even remember or were around when that was real. There was real ferocious anger and xenophobia and hatred behind it.
Yes.
Okay, that's fascinating. And how are Pakistanis treated? If you're Indian being called a Paki, how are actual Pakistanis treated in this country?
Exactly the same as us, because they couldn't tell the difference. Ignorance. We're all just brown. Even Olivia, my partner now, she says, only since going out with you, I can tell the difference now between who is who. Before that, she didn't have a clue who was Sikh, who's Indian, who's Hindu, who's a Muslim, who's this, who's that. Didn't have a clue. But these are whole different races here. Saudi Arabia, Arabs, Egyptians, Pakistan, India. This is like all of Asia, but we're all classed as one person.
You're right. Exactly. Just like Latinos in the
all
United
just
States.
Put under the same banner of Patty or Black, if you're confused.
Well, in America, if it makes you feel any better, Salvadorans just became not Mexicans. Every other Latino was Mexican until about 5 years ago. And now we're all learning that, oh, no, this person is from Venezuela.
Yes.
Or Honduras. Exactly.
Yeah.
So today's episode is brought to you by MANDO. This should come as no surprise to you, but there's only one product I trust to keep my pits smelling good, and that is MANDO Whole Body Deodorant. You can use it on your whole body. Yes, your whole body. It's dermatologist tested and gentle on all your bits. It controls odor for 72 hours, and that is clinically proven. You can choose from 4 cologne quality scents: Bourbon Leather, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, and Clover Woods, or unscented if you really want to get savage and all natural. MANDO was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It's safe for the whole body, pits, packaged feet, and everywhere in between. MANDO stops odor before it starts, and guess what? It's American made. I love this stuff. It's the only deodorant I use now. The Bourbon Leather Whole Body Deodorant is my daily go-to. The weather's getting cold, but MANDO still comes in clutch for me after the gym, and especially on date night. The last thing I want to do is smell like a bag of dog turds when I am trying to make a baby with my side chick. It's strong enough to handle your worst odors, but gentle enough for your sensitive areas because it's aluminum-free, baking soda-free, cruelty-free, dye-free, and vegan. MANDO's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, plus there's free shipping. Ready to make the upgrade to MANDO? New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off of your starter pack. Use code Mitchell at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com with that promo code Mitchell. Thank you, Mando. Let's get back to it. Did you feel that Indians in the 80s, Indian immigrants, feel animosity towards Pakistanis because of the historical divide?
No.
Okay.
Back then in the 80s, we stuck together because there wasn't many Pakistanis here. There wasn't many Indians here. So we spoke the same language, Punjabi. We eat the same similar food. We look the same. So back then we sort of bonded. We stuck together and helped each other out. It's only as later, Muslims, Sikhs, they're like, boom, because there's more now. So they have their own culture standing. They have their own things now. But back then it wasn't like that. It was only a few of us and we had to stay together.
You got to survive.
Yeah.
Did you know of any Indian gangsters at this time where you were growing up in Newcastle?
No, never. No, there was no Indian gangsters. I was the first one. I was the first Asian gangster in Newcastle.
Wow.
Yeah. Did
that hatred that you experienced when you were working in your father's store and, being poor and just, isolated and an immigrant, do you think that contributed to what you became later?
Yeah. I just didn't like the system. I didn't like how we have to make money. We have to take abuse to make money. We have to feel threatened. We have to people try to burn the shop down, burn the house down, put a petrol outside, getting abuse, getting no respect. I thought this is not how I want to live my life. I know I'm only young now. When I'm older, so that's when I start to train, take steroids, try to do boxing. Weight training, and then get something about myself because of just the shit I was getting, and I wanted out of that. And so to get out of that, I opened up a clothes shop on my own when I was 21 years old. I got the money off my dad because I worked for my dad ever since I was 10 in shops. Never got paid a wage. Because Indians, we don't get paid a wage. Yeah, the money stays in the pot, in the house pot. So we are all, it's all there. right?
Wow.
The money is for like when my mom and dad die, it's going to go down to me anyway. So it's like one of them, you know?
It's like a trust fund. You're paying into
Yes.
like, it's almost like your own social security.
Yes.
But just of your family.
Yes.
Oh, that's fast.
Yes.
Is that traditional in
Yes.
Indian households?
Yes, we all do that.
Wow. Okay.
We all do that.
So you were an indentured servant from the time you were 10 till you were 21.
Yeah.
You're starting to work out because did you ever get like assaulted by these like
Yes.
British white people?
Yes. There was a few incidents where they came in, started fights. There were 3-4 of them on my dad, just calling him a Paki. There were notorious people at the time, and they were in their mid-20s, and I was just young then, 20 years old, 19. And this is what they used to do, my dad got bashed up a few times, went to hospital, stitches, just through attacks. And then when we called the police, they made witnesses up to say that my dad attacked them. Yes, because we're living in their world. This is a white world, So we didn't have a say. So it went to court and they walked.
Wow. And you witnessed your dad being assaulted.
Yes.
So that kind of trauma you can't live that down very easily.
Well, no.
So you have this fury. Do you feel, what was surging in you? Was it, looking back, right? Back then it was survival. You probably didn't realize you were being traumatized, but looking back, was it anger? Was it, what was it? Revenge that drove you?
Yeah, revenge, anger, how they spoke to my mom, what they did to my mother, what they did to my dad, what they did to me.
Yeah.
My sister, I hated them. Yeah, I hated them. I wanted death on them.
I hate them. Just with you talking about them.
Sometimes I used to drive in the van. I used to drive the van, and I used to think, I hope I see one of them on the side of the road coming and mow him down. This is the extremes I got to. But there's not a lot I could do because I was a lone wolf. I was only on my own still. Right. So there's not a lot I could do at this point. It was only after I got my shop in Newcastle, town centre, I got mixed with villains there, higher level people, tougher people than the village where we were living. And so I befriended these people, I trained with them, and then I took my vengeance out on all them people. I tracked them all down, them all up.
Really?
Yes.
When I had
something about
some clout with these Newcastle gangsters.
Yeah.
So you found these guys from your childhood.
Yeah, they're easy to find because they're still in the same town.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you, did you leave them all alive?
Yeah, they're alive. They just got a licking, bashed up, broken arms, broken hands.
Did they know it was you?
Of course.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Of course. There was one time, I'll give you an incident. I was told one of them was in this bar. I got a phone call. I'm like, right, okay. Because I told everybody I'm looking for all these people. So I got a phone call, right, he's there. He's in a bar. Doorman were there. I went there with a friend of mine. And then I said to the doorman, I went, okay, him over there, I went, throw him out. Otherwise, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to smash him off inside your bar. And he went, okay. So he got him, threw him out because he didn't want, because there's no point having loads of abuse in your bar, So I did it. So I went, this is what I'm going to do. I suggest take him out. So he took him out. I got him out. Straight away, he killed him to a ball. And then when he was in a ball, I had steel toe caps on, boots, and I broke both his arms. I just kicked him on the floor.
Did he know? Did you see him remembering at that moment who you were?
Yes.
And he realized that this was payback after all those years?
Yeah, he knew, and he was going, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to you. Come here.
Right. So as an Indian, you didn't err towards the teachings of Gandhi so much as you did towards the guy that killed Gandhi.
Yes.
Okay. I love this. All right. So now you're in the bigger city. Who were these gangsters back then? Did you realize like up north is so much different than in London? Mm-hmm. Do you know who the gang members are up there? The clans?
Yes.
Who are these clans?
Right. There was certain families there. The family name. There was about 3 or 4 operating at that time in the early 90s. They had control of what they were doing. There was another firm in Gateshead, which I later joined myself.
And they call them firms?
Firms, yeah. Oh, wow. Because we're just like an organized gang.
Right. And is it drug trafficking or what were they doing back in the 90s?
Yes, drug trafficking, prostitution, racketeering, extortion. So a lot of them taking money off people where they're not supposed to take it, just taxing people, taxing drug dealers.
Yeah.
Just that, really.
And you had a clothing shop.
Yeah.
And you're working out. You're a bodybuilder. Yeah. So tell us how that progresses into your first hustle.
Right. The clothing shop I had, that was a bit high level. I was selling high level clothing, club wear. It was a bit I was too ahead of the time for Newcastle. A lot of the people that used to buy the clothes were gay guys because they had a bit more style about them and a bit excess dollar. So they were buying, but it was struggling. So I had to get involved with credit card fraud. There's these gangster family that came to me. They said, we have a firm in Newcastle that just do bag snatching. Do a fresh bag snatch, bam, they bring the cards straight away to certain shops and you just ring it, rinse it. I went, okay.
Before they call the person, the victim calls up and cancels the card.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay, so you were basically just the person that received the cards.
Just the money, and I would just give them half of the money, but they had to take that in clothing, not cash.
I see. How long did you do that for?
I did that for about 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much money do you think you took?
I took a lot of money. But the police were watching my shop, and I was advised that the police had put cameras opposite my shop because these gangsters were coming in and out, and they were thinking he's doing more than selling clothes. They thought I was selling drugs. So they were watching me, and I got told. So in the end, what I did, I got in loads of supplies of people, clothing, and I just bumped them. I didn't pay anybody off, and I just I'm off that way.
So you closed the shop
down, yeah.
Okay. Did you leave Newcastle?
No. Stayed there. That's when I started to work on the door security. And then I started to get into the steroids.
Right.
To sell the steroids, the pills.
Because there was a boom on steroids back in Britain in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
There was a boom there. Yes, the boom was really down to me.
What is it called?
The boom was down to me because I was bringing in that much gear. Yeah, it was accessible.
Right.
Before I was doing it, it was hard to get a hold of good quality product.
Right.
Very hard. It was like homemade. It was like bollocks. Good quality. It was rare and far between. So I just seen a niche in the market.
Yeah. And
I went to the cheapest place in the world, which was Karachi, to buy the drugs.
Right. Yeah, you were saying Karachi is the cheapest place to get anything you want.
Anything you want, because nobody wants to do business with that country because of Al-Qaeda, Taliban, kidnappings.
Right.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding. But you said, of course, I can get the best price.
Yes.
I'm going to go to Karachi.
Yeah.
Did you have connections when you went over there?
None. Zero. I went in blind. I had to do my own research. I just went off an address on the packet of steroids that I used to buy in England. There was an address on the back, and that's what I thought, okay, I'm going to go to this factory and bribe him.
Yeah.
It's Pakistan. I'm sure they all take bribes.
Of course.
Yeah.
And we were right.
No, I wasn't right. I tried to bribe him, the factory owner. I got an interview with a manager, Organon. And he says, do you have a pharmaceutical company? I said, yes. I tried to blag it. He wasn't buying it. But then he said, listen, if you want to buy this amount, I can't supply you. There's more heavier people here. You have to go to other people. So I'm not going to say who, but not me. So I went, right. So then we did a research. We went to chemists, this, that, trying to get the product. They only had little bits. 10, 20 ampules, which was useless. I wanted 50,000. And
is this testosterone or what kind of steroids?
Testosterone.
Okay. And you sell them. How are they sold? Like what units of just like one vial at a time?
1 mil ampule.
Okay. And that's like a vial basically.
Yes.
Okay. And what is one of those retail for back then? What was it retailing for in England?
Retail was about £4.
And what was your price?
To buy 30 pence.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good markup. And
yes.
50,000 at a time.
Yes.
You can see that there was a good business to do here.
Yes. And also the pills I was bringing in, the Valium, they were costing for 1,000, £9. And street value here is £1 a pill.
Wow.
So £9 to £1,000, which was better, which I figured, okay, it's better to take these pills rather than steroids, because my structure was all based on weight.
Right. 23
kilo per suitcase.
Right.
3 suitcases. So we're talking 70 kilo of drugs, yeah? So I thought these pills are better.
What is Valium? How is that even the same demand as testosterone?
It's not the same demand. It's a totally different people that take it. Valium is like a come down pill. People that take heroin, that can't get heroin, they take this as a suppressant, to like keep them going. Yeah.
How did you find that niche? Because you were a bodybuilder, so that you penetrated that market pretty easily because you were meeting other bodybuilders who needed testosterone. How did you worm your way into the Valium distribution?
The Valium, yes. I worm my way to that one because some bodybuilders would take Valium to get a sleep on, blah, blah, blah. And then I just got talking to some people and they said, there's a different market here. These are different people. So I spoke to a few people and they went, yeah, I can sell them. But I sold them in bulk. I was selling 1,000 pills for £150. Costing me £9.
Right.
So 150.
Yeah.
But they're selling for £1 a pill.
Right.
So these customers, there was loads of them.
Right.
I found there was loads of them. And to move these tablets was very easy. But it was a whole different market.
Okay.
So I was bringing in steroids and the pills. So I was dealing with 2 different markets.
Okay. So tell us about like a steroid run. You eventually found the supplier in Pakistan. Was this just like a pharmaceutical company that was willing to sell a street guy however much he wanted, or were these criminal gangs? Who were they?
Right. We went to these places. The prostitutes as well. They knew this. Listen, if you want what you want in them amounts, you got to go see these people. They have a market stall. He said, but they're heavy. But they're the only ones. Even the chemist said, no, not us. Go see them. Go see them. So we went to see them. I went to see them, but there was 2 guys outside. A chemist in a market stall, open stall, shotguns outside. And I thought, this doesn't look like a normal chemist shop to me. Anyway, it was really small. And Bashir, the boss, was sat there. His sons were outside with the guns. And I said, hi. But I spoke to him in Punjabi. So he was talking to me and we were talking and I said, this is what I want. He went, sit down. He went, explain yourself, where you're from, what you do, blah, blah, blah. So I told him everything. He said, okay, you got the cash? I went, yeah. He went, okay. He said, I can get you anything you want. Anything you want. The whole spectrum of illegal pills, Rufinapol, Valium, Temgesics, the steroids, heroin even. I was offered at £1,800 for a kilo. Wow. That's 80% proof.
Yeah. And a kilo here sells for $200,000 wholesale, probably.
Yes.
Wow. Did that cross your mind?
It did cross my mind, but then I thought, no, that's heavy.
Right.
That's not for me. That's not the market I'm in. Let me just concentrate on what I'm doing here. Right. So I just concentrate on the pills and the steroids.
This episode is sponsored by True Classic. If you're like me, you hate shopping for clothes. Finding stuff that actually fits can be a pain. Not too big, not too tight. It's got to hug my waist. Especially if you're looking for the basics, it can be really impossible to look for clothing. That's why I love True Classic. They make incredibly comfortable clothing that actually fits well. My favorite part about it, their stuff isn't covered in logos. It's hard to find clothes these days that don't make you look like a walking billboard. As soon as I started wearing this stuff, I was getting compliments from friends and family about how good I was looking. I mean, that's also just, God's work. But you get it. Go check out their website for their full catalog of essentials. They have a 100% fit guarantee and easy returns if you're not happy. The shirts are snug in the arms and chest and have just enough room in the midsection so that they highlight all of your best features. It's very, very hard to find clothes that conform to my body, but these shirts, these shirts are really doing it. With fall here and winter right around the corner, True Classic has you covered for all needs in these colder months. Long sleeves, waffle hoodies, joggers, and more. The holidays are here, and True Classics ultra-comfortable, perfect-fitting essentials make for the perfect gift for you and the men in your life. So, if you're ready to upgrade your closet, shop now and unlock big savings during their huge holiday sale. Just go to my exclusive link at trueclassic.com/connect to save. That's trueclassic.com/CONNECT. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Use that promo code. That's the best way you can do it. End the year with holiday cheer thanks to True Classic.
So what does one load look like? Walk us through how you would get, how much you picked up and how you would smuggle it back to England.
Right. Okay. The load. Yeah. Okay. These guys who I was buying off, I got told, he didn't tell me, but the taxi drivers told me they have links with Al-Qaeda. He went, and the police, they're all linked.
Right.
So they're free and easy to sell what they want.
Right.
The police can never bust them. So this is who you're dealing with. I went, yeah, okay, but we have to deal with these people because they're the only people that can sell this amount.
Right.
So the process was getting them back and packing everything down. The volume was come in blister packs. I had to pack them down as vitamin B12 tubs. There was 250,000 pills.
Wow.
250,000 pills, 50,000 ampules. It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
How this got done first time round was by my taxi driver. My taxi driver, he had like a porn magazine I gave him, yeah? Because you can't get that in Pakistan.
Right.
They've never seen a naked white woman in their lives, right?
Oh,
never seen one, yeah? So this is like gold dust here.
Sure.
So I gave him the magazine and he was overwhelmed with it, yeah? So I went, okay. And he went, I'll take the stock and I'll get it all packed for you and done for you in the morning. I went, yeah. Well, yeah, because we were trying it. We did about 1,000 ampules and our hands were getting blisters. I went, this ain't for me. I went, this 50,000 and 250,000 pills. It's going to take us ages. So he took it away. And what he did, went to the village, got down 12 boys from his local village, young boys, showed them the magazine.
We know what they do with young boys over there. When they're not packing, they're getting packed. Anyways, I'll be here all day, folks. Go ahead.
So he showed him the magazine and he goes, right, pack one box. There was 12 boxes. He went, pack one box and I'll turn the page over. And he went, right, okay. So they all looked at this page. They all went, wow. And then they were in speed motion to get the next page. And then once that box was packed, checked, turn the page over. And I paid him a month's wages to get this done because I thought he was going to pay these boys. He didn't pay them anything.
Wow. Just paid them in
just in
white.
Just in white, man.
Yeah. And I mean, I imagine a month's wage there in 1992 was $5. I mean, it's nothing, right?
Nothing, yeah.
So was that your system moving forward, was to use like the villagers?
No.
To pack them down?
No. That just happened once.
Okay.
The second time round, I went, my second run, I told Bashir, the boss, who was buying the pills off, listen, I have a problem with the packaging. He said, I'll do it for you all.
Okay.
So he did it for me all free.
Oh, I didn't move your price up.
No.
Now, how were they linked? How was Bashir linked to Al-Qaeda? Do you think they were just paying extortion payments to them?
Yes.
Protection?
Yes. So they're allowed to operate. So they get money. Yeah.
Can you explain further how Al-Qaeda, and I'm sure now the Taliban, you could probably shed some light on how they operate basically like gangs do with extorting drug dealers. And can you shed some light on that?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Drug dealers, heroin from the Kashmir border goes to India. It comes from Afghanistan. It goes all over. It goes to Turkey. They have a hold on all that. All these drug dealers are linked with them. The drug dealers are making their money, but they have to pay them for the safety and control of the drugs. It will get to the border, and you are allowed to move because their forces are everywhere.
Right,
you can't move without them doing anything. So it's all hand in hand sort of thing. This is where they get their money from. The funding.
Do you think because it sounds exactly like Mexican cartels.
Yeah.
You know, the drug dealers in Mexico, drug traffickers. Yeah. Give a percentage to the cartel who protects their shipments and pays off border guards to make sure it moves safely into America.
That's how it is.
Wow.
Yeah. The police are paid. Everyone's paid off.
Yeah. No, it's not surprising in a country like Pakistan.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is you bringing over 150,000 Valium pills in a run? You said
I was bringing 250,000.
250,000 pills, and how many people are you dumping these off to?
Okay, I had I would say 5 to 6 main guys who would buy off me in bulk. As soon as these pills landed, because they were getting at a really good price at £150 a tub. Because normally there was ones on the street here they were paying $250 a tub, but the quality was mine were Roche, proper Roche, 10 milligram Valium, the real deal, and they were very good quality, the best of the best.
Right.
And so
how much were you making off like a tub?
Right. Okay. Off a tub, I was making £140.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a tub is 1,000?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're making 140 pounds a tub and you have 250,000
250
tubs,
250, yeah.
250 tubs, what's the ticket on that?
250 times 140. I don't know, work it out.
Yeah. It's close to $500,000 bucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And what's your investment on that?
My investment, what it cost me to do the run would I would pay the mules £1,000 each. I would pay for the expenses, the food, £1,000 each. The tickets would cost me back then $1,500. The layout was about $3,000.
This is an unbeatable business.
Yes.
This is better than cocaine. It's better than...
It was the best of the best.
The best of the best.
Yes.
And nobody was doing it.
Nobody was doing it.
You were the biggest guy in England doing this.
Yes.
Wow.
I just found that niche.
Wow.
Yeah. People were just concentrating on cocaine, heroin, ecstasy. Yeah. But everyone was doing it, and it all carries heavy jail, and they're all killing each other. I just thought, no, I've got a different angle here. But not everybody can go to Pakistan.
Right. Of course
and
not.
Communicate with these people and do it. No. A white person can't do that. They will not tolerate you. They will kidnap you, hold you hostage. You'll come here to buy drugs. They will cut your ears off and send them DHL to your dad and ask him for £500,000 and they'll let you go.
Brian, go ahead and cancel the Pakistan trip we had. We were going to go film some content over there, but I'm just a YouTuber. I'm not buying. Wow. So, and then the muling, this is the 90s, right?
Yeah.
So you could, you basically just take your bag on a commercial flight, these mules, right?
Yes.
They were just checking their bags with, how, 125,000 pills.
Yeah, full of it. But I had to pay off the chief narcotics officer at Karachi Airport.
Oh.
He knew about my operation first time around. First time around, it went smooth. I bought him off security with some more magazines. I showed him the magazines because they were checking the case. They said, no, we're not having this. We're not having this. And then they seen the magazines. They went and they had a look. And I went, do you want it? He goes, yeah. I went, take it. I went, are we good to go? They went, yeah, go on then. So I gave them 2 magazines.
No cash?
No cash. Not first time round. And then second x-ray, they x-rayed them 2 as well with 2 magazines. Unbelievable.
Wow.
But that was the first time round. Because magazines are gold dust there. You can't get that.
Yeah.
That's worth a lot of money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. And
there's no internet. There's no nothing. Yeah.
They could probably sell that. That's how they're looking at it.
Yeah. Print the pages out and sell them or whatever.
Wow.
So this was a commodity and we could believe it the first time round. So second time round, they knew what I was doing. I had to pay them off. £100, okay. Third time round, the chief narcotics officer approached me. I came off the flight. He knew my flights. And he said, listen, I know what you're doing. He says, you don't have to pay anybody off here, yeah? Okay? Just me. You give me £100 a suitcase, right? And you bypass all x-rays and everything. You may bring what you want through. I'm all right, okay. Then I could have brought back heroin.
Right.
That crossed my mind then when I was working with him because he says, and then when I used to come to the airport, greeted me at the front, airport security, he said, get out of the way, and I would just walk straight through as if I was like...
Presidential treatment.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, yeah, you could have got, if you got 10 kilos of heroin, you could have retired.
Yeah.
I mean, look, a couple runs, you could have retired off one run of Valium.
Yeah, one run, yeah.
Did you have that in mind the way that like I did when I was selling big weight? I was like, okay, I'm going to make X amount of money and then I'm going to, get off into something else because it is such high risk. Did you have that or did you not think like that?
The heroin did cross my mind, yes. But then I thought, that's a different prospect here, what I'm doing there with the heroin.
But did you, even with the Valium and the gear, did you think once I make, this many millions, I'm going to get out and invest this into other less risky ventures so I don't have to go to Karachi?
Yeah. Right. I was investing at the time I was making,
Yeah.
I was getting money. I was investing, putting it into property, doing what I was doing. I did that, but I didn't have a plan to stop. My plan was to take it bigger. My next plan was not suitcases, a container.
Like on a cargo ship?
A container, yeah.
Wow.
Doing like a £5 million boom.
Wow.
Hit. And just doing one of them every 6 months even.
Yeah.
Just keep it low profile. Because what I was doing in Pakistan, I was going there every 6 weeks. So this is why I flagged up.
Right. Because so when you're getting out of Karachi is easy. Getting into England, it becomes a problem when they see
6 times. Well, he's going all the time. He's going all the time. So that's why Interpol would check my flights.
Now,
tracking me.
Before Interpol, so you were on the same flights as your mules?
Yes.
I see. Just making sure everything was smooth.
Yes.
Were these also Indians?
No, white people.
Okay, so they couldn't go there by themselves.
No.
They had to have you there.
Yeah.
What kind of whites were these?
Just people that I knew, lads that weren't working. They were like £1,000 to them for a week. It's a lot of money. And plus it's a holiday away. And they've got nothing to do. Normally they would just sit in a little house and just get stoned all day long,
Right.
So
exactly.
This is the thing. So they say, yeah. And plus it's only Valium, steroids. And in England then it's Class C. Class C.
Okay.
Which only carries a maximum of 3 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In Spain, it carries 9 years.
So, okay. And they would just get their bags after they checked them when they landed in England and walk through customs with a bag full of gear? And they never got searched? They never got popped?
No. The customs at Newcastle Airport, the way I did the flights, I made sure we changed to Amsterdam. We used to change at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. and we used to land in Newcastle about 6 a.m. On a morning flight, we're empty. They're always empty.
Right.
So we apparently have just come from Amsterdam because we took all the Karachi tags off. So on the case, it just looks as if we're from Amsterdam.
Right. And you're not flying into Heathrow, so it's way...
Newcastle Airport, and there was nobody ever there.
Right.
Straight through.
Right.
Heathrow, Manchester, different story.
Wow.
You will get...
Yeah.
You can't do it at them airports. You have to pick a small airport.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was the mistake?
The mistake was I told too many people, and one time our flights changed to Amsterdam, but the cases didn't follow onto the next flight. So we got told, right, your cases are on the next flight, so you have to come back for them. That's when I thought, right, that's when they're going to have a look at them. So then I phoned up and they told me, okay, your cases are here, but if you do to come collect the case, you will be arrested. Because this is English law, they have to tell you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish they would have told me that when my FedEx packages arrived. Wow. They said that. Okay.
Yeah, they said that, so I just left it. So then I thought, okay, I have to divert it now. I have to divert what I'm doing.
Right. Okay. So, and that's when you decided to go through Spain.
I went through Spain and I was going to get the Euro tunnel back, the train.
What is that? So there's a train that goes from Spain to England?
No, there's a train that goes from Spain to France, from France to London. So it was a longer journey. But I just wanted to avoid flights because they knew what I was doing.
Right, right. Did you consider like having a trusted person go in place of you so you didn't have to even be on the flights? Like, couldn't they have, you know?
Do you know what? I was greedy in that way. I didn't have to carry a case, but I chose to carry a case myself. I had the mules carrying cases, but I would as well, because I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted more money. I thought, well, I'm going to take one as well.
Yeah.
Because
it's such a low investment, right? Like, it's weird, even though you're making so much money, to have to take some of that away. You've already trained yourself to where, okay, it literally just cost me 10,000 pounds for a $500,000 profit.
Yeah.
So, damn, it's going to cost me 30,000 now? No, because you've trained yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
But that's okay. This is what happens in the game.
Yes.
Hey guys, let me take a minute to tell you about Mint Mobile. Your cell phone bill shouldn't be a luxury expense, although unfortunately for most of us, it is. That's why there's Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile has awesome service for just $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. It doesn't get any better than that, truly. This is a game changer. Cell phone plans have gotten out of control with their pricing, hidden fees, and bait-and-switch plans. Mint Mobile gave me 3 months free to test it out, and they are legit. My calls sounded great, I had no issues with drop calls, and the 5G data was super fast when I was using the internet. Finally, a cell phone plan that has what you need at a price that makes sense. And check this out. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, you can go to mintmobile.com/connect. That's mintmobile.com/CONNECT. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/connect. Why would you not do that?
A $45 upfront payment is required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions may apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
So how did it end? You were going through Spain.
Okay, we're going through Spain. I had 2 mules with me. Unfortunately, it's the first time they went there. He was 21, his girlfriend 19. They'd never been abroad before. They never even had a passport. He worked at the same bar I was working in. He was a glass collector. So I took him and his girlfriend. And we went to Alicante, all the cases were going around. Everybody was picking the cases up. Our cases weren't there. It was going round. Our cases not there. And I thought, I know what's happening here already, yeah. They're waiting for the Guardia Civil, for the drug squad to land. So I knew this then. When our cases weren't there, us 3 were just standing there and everybody else gone. And then the Guardia Civil just came around with guns and then went boom, get on the floor, handcuffed, bam. And these are your cases. They brought them out, said, yeah. They opened them up, and they were laughing their heads off. They were, wow, look at this. It was the biggest seizure in Spanish history, the pharmaceutical drugs.
Wow. What was in there? How much weight?
There was 50,000 ampules and 250,000 tablets of Valium.
Wow. What do you think that was worth?
Oh, that was worth a lot of money. A lot of money. Do you know what? I didn't want to work it out and hurt myself.
Sure, exactly. I know. I figure in hindsight,
because I made money, and then you lose money. That money is easy come, easy go. This is life. So I don't like to this is the exact number I've lost. I just, okay. Yeah, it's gone. That one.
Yeah, so that's a big bust to them. And I'm shocked that they even knew what that was. The Spanish are stupid as
yes, they are.
But they knew, they were like, these are illegal. Like, because you're dealing in an illegal product.
Yeah.
Like, Valium is legal. Yes. Testosterone is legal.
Yes.
So over what quantity does it become illegal?
It's illegal, right, for personal, if you have for yourself a prescription in Spain.
Right.
In Spain, they only have Class A and Class B. They don't have a Class C. Oh. Class B, hashish, cannabis, marijuana. Class A, everything else. So that comes in the category of Class A. And it was the intention to sell, to supply.
Okay, so you can only get it from a doctor.
Yeah.
Legally.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so the amount I had, obviously it's an intention to supply people. It's not personal use.
Okay.
I told him it was personal use. I said, I can't get sleeping at night. That's why I got that much volume.
Yeah. And they didn't go for it?
They didn't go for nothing. Yeah. No, they knew what I was doing because they knew all my flights.
Yeah.
Interpol had been on my case and they just reeled it all back to me. They just reeled it all off, everything.
Now, would they, in that situation, like if it was cocaine, they busted some
kids coming back from Colombia, they might say, hey, let's work together. We got DEA down in Colombia. Bring us to your supplier and we can get you a time cut, right? That would get you to cooperate. Was there that opportunity here? I mean, you're getting steroids from basically like a terrorist country.
Yeah.
So did the Spanish even try to like say, hey, let's build this case up and try to like arrest your suppliers in Pakistan? Or is that not even an option?
Zero.
Yeah.
No. They don't want nothing to do with Pakistan.
Yeah.
Spain can't Pakistan.
Right.
Pakistan will tell them off.
Yeah, America can barely Pakistan.
Yeah. Nobody they'll say off. We do what we're doing. He's legal on our shores. Once he leaves our shores, that's his business.
Right.
So, to cut a deal, they tried to do that with the mules. Okay. They made them speak against me, and they admitted it. They said, well, we didn't pack our cases. Give it all that one. We're innocent, blah, blah, blah. Right. So it came out in the newspapers here in England that I'm the bad guy, took 2 people over, an innocent young couple, right, and I made them carry drugs back. So it was making me out look like a bad guy here. Right. It was on the front pages of the papers and everything, yeah. And I went, this isn't the f***ing case. So I got word sent to their family. You better tell them to change the f***ing story or you know what's going to go down here. So word got back to them and then they changed the story and told the truth.
Wow. Okay. So but they still fingered you as the ringleader though, right?
Yeah, but they knew I was anyway, which was fair enough. Yeah. But in Spain, it doesn't work like if you cut a story and you walk free, you still get the same jail.
So they got the same time that you did?
They got the same time as me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So how much time did you get sentenced to?
I got sentenced to, in the end, 4.5 years.
Okay.
Out of that, I served 3 years. 9 years was what I was supposed to get. But my lawyer, Antonio Gonzalez, he got me the deal. He says, I'll get you half your sentence if you pay me £11,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he went and took that part of that to the judge?
Yes.
Wow.
6,000 for the judge.
And that must be common. That must be rampant in the Spanish justice system.
That happens all the time, yeah. Because their barristers apparently don't get paid the same as what the barristers here do in England. Because here they're on top dollar. On there, it's not like that. So they're free and easy to take bribes, yeah. So I got told of my lawyer and the people, once I could learn Spanish, that this is what you do here. Because in the first place, I had a wrong lawyer who's full. Right. He couldn't get me anywhere, but I didn't know Spanish then. Right. Only once I learned Spanish and I talked to the South Americans and they said to me, you need this boy.
Right. So you were actually originally supposed to you went into Spanish prison with 9 years, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And you just didn't realize you could have paid at the beginning, you could have paid the judge and been walking in with a 4-year sentence. Yeah. You just didn't know Spanish.
I just didn't know Spanish and I didn't have the links.
Yeah.
If I had the links, if somebody came approach me, boom, you're wasting your time. You need this lawyer. He would get you out double fast.
Wow. Because you had money when you went in there.
Yeah.
What did the mules, those kids, what happened to them? How much time did they end up doing?
They had the same sentence, but I paid for their legal fees as well.
And the bribery?
Yes, everything.
Oh, wow.
I had to pay for that.
That's good of you.
Well, yeah, but it was my fault, you know.
Did you feel guilty?
Yes, really bad.
I mean, because a lot of gangsters, I mean, they just their mules to the slaughter.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I took care of them. I paid their legal fees and I got them out.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Did they have a hard time? Did you talk to them about their experience?
Yes, I did. They had a hardish time, but the girl was okay because there was 2 girls from Liverpool who were doing 9 years for cocaine, which was a setup on their part. They were coming to Spain, cocaine, taking it back, wrapping it around the body, bringing it back. But this time around, they had the cocaine. Foil was inside the cocaine. They set them up. They set them up for a fall. Mm-hmm. Somebody else was probably coming through with a bigger one. Right. Blah, blah, blah. They had 2 kilos on them, a kilo each, the girls. But when it went to court, it was only 1 kilo.
Wonder what happened to that.
This is Spain.
Right. Wow.
So they were asked about that, but it's still 9 years. You know, whether 2 kilo, 10 kilo, 1 kilo, half a kilo, still 9 years.
Wow. So what was Spanish prison like?
So Spanish prison was a nightmare. A third of the inmates got AIDS.
Sorry, say it again?
A third of the inmates have AIDS.
Wow.
From injecting, sharing needles. I was in the Category A, the top security wing.
Right.
There's only 40 heads on there. They're all in there for murder, killers, South American, big-time drug dealers from Peru, Venezuela, Bolivia, Colombia, Sao Paulo. There was Europeans there, Germans there, Russians there, Moroccans, Algerians. It was like the whole world was in this little wing.
Wow.
You know? Yeah.
Serious guys.
Yeah.
But some of them were dope shooters.
Yes.
Oof. So they would share needles and get HIV.
Yeah.
Now, did they let that HIV turn into full-blown AIDS?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You were saying the Spanish prisons are the worst in all of Europe, right?
Yes. They're worse because of that. They have no health and safety. There's no rules and regulations. It's just all dirt. It's like Africa. It's disgusting. Because sentences there. Other countries in England, if you do like burglaries, you do like 10 burglaries. You'll get 2 year, 1 year, 18 months, 2 year. But it runs concurrent. So you only do 2 year. In Spain, they add them all up. So if you do burglaries, 10 of them, you do 25 year. I think America's similar. They hand you big sentences there, mate. But I don't think you get that much.
America's consecutive, but they hand you big sentences.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you will get big sentences, but generally they're concurrent. But in Spain, they just concurrent. But so it's kind of like Spain, but generally they don't stack the charges. So if you murder somebody with a weapon, they'll give you 25 for the body and 25 for the weapon, or 15 for the weapon, but they'll run them concurrently. So you'll only do 25. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But it sounds like in Spain, again, those animals will just stack the math.
I'll give you an example. Carlo, a good friend of mine who spoke some English in there, his story was this year in Fast. Innocent boy, college boy, had a fit girlfriend. They were at a party. The host was flirting with his girlfriend. End of the night, all of it a little bit high. People had left. And then he told Carlo to leave and not his girlfriend. Carlo didn't take this lightly, so there was a bottle of vodka, hit him over the fucking head. Bam, killed him. Didn't mean to kill him, right? So him and the girlfriend are there and the dead guy. So what they did, themselves, so took him to the mountains and they burnt the body. Right, okay, Carlo took the blame. It all came ahead, but when he went to jail, he got 24 years for the murder and 10 years for burning the body. So he did 34 years. See, there you go.
34 years.
34, yeah, you got 10 for burning the body.
Yeah, right. And so now the kid has no reason to live. No. His life's over.
He's on AIDS, and he's on heroin. Oof.
And they give up and they just slam it.
Yeah.
Wow. Is there any possibility of good time? Like, say you don't have money to pay a judge. Can you be on good behavior and get out early?
Wow, no chance. No. You have to do 3/4. 3/4 your sentence, sir.
Wow. Okay, so now you're in there. You think you're doing 9.
Yeah.
You don't know yet that you're going to be able to pay your way out. You have money, but you got to hustle in there.
Yes.
So what was your hustle?
My hustle was there. I was the money lender. There was a Carlo, a different Carlo, who's all heroin there, and Manolo, a bank robber. He was notorious. He was doing about 30-odd year. He used to take police hostage. He's like, shoot out with the feds, blah, blah, blah. But they used to sell the heroin there. So when people wanted heroin and they didn't have the money, they would say, go see Indio.
Yeah,
that's what he used to call me, Indio. See him, and he will lend you the money, and then I'll give you the drugs. So it worked hand in hand. And for this, Manolo and Carlo would give me hashish on a visit when it would come through, because their family members would come in and they'd get big lumps, and they would give me a lump as a thank you present. Right. So I was like free and easy, and we just got stoned in the yard there.
Right.
And so my hustle was lending somebody 2,000 pesetas, and I want 3,000 back on the Monday. Everybody gets money sent in off the families on the Monday.
Right.
You queue up, you get your dollar. All the drug dealers are hanging around, wanting to get paid. As soon as people get paid, they're pounced on.
Right. And then they turn around and give you the VIG.
And then they give me what they owe me.
Right.
And then they say, right, now I don't have any money, so can I borrow some more back? And I go, yeah.
Right.
And then I want double again. So it was like a circle there.
So they're constantly...
They can't get out of it. They can't get out of it.
No.
Because once they paid me, they don't have any money.
Right.
So they have to borrow again.
Right.
And I had about 5 or 6 of these just going round, round, round.
Wow. So you started with your own personal money.
Yes.
Backing it up, right? And giving it to the dealers.
Yes.
And now
giving it to these people who wanted it.
Right.
And they will go to the dealer, and then the dealers will give me free hashish as well.
Right.
So that was a good deal for me.
It almost seems like you could just give the dealers money yourself for them, but you want to separate it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
Yes. No. Yeah.
Of course.
Because I'm not buying the drugs.
No.
I'm just lending you the money. And for that, I would hold whatever they had. Jewelry, you allowed jewels in there, rings, watches, a Walkman, anything of any value, I would take and hold.
So you're a bank and a pawn shop.
Yeah.
Wow. So you must have been chilling.
Chilling,
you must have.
Yeah.
I mean, tell us about I'm sure people who couldn't pay would just say, yeah, keep my TV.
Well, that happened.
Yeah. Like, what did you have?
I had loads of extra items, yeah. Walkmans, trainers, tracksuits, jewelry. I had 2 watches on.
You bastard.
This is jail.
Who needs 1 watch in jail, dude?
You don't even need a watch in jail.
No.
You go by the sun, you know?
Yeah. Right?
So it's pointless having a watch anyway.
Wow. You're just shoving in their faces. Hey, you AIDS junkie. I have 2 watches, 10 chains.
Jewelry, chains, rings, everything. Walkmans, yeah.
Wow. And all the hash you wanted to smoke.
Yes. So it was a good number in the end, yeah.
So did you feel like, okay, I can do 9, even though it's terrible, you're separated from your family, but did you feel like, okay, I can make it through?
Yes. Karim was there, and he was from Algeria, a big time drug dealer called the Ghost. And he didn't escape. He escaped from there.
Really?
He said to me, I'm doing 9. He said, you're going to get 9, Chet. He said, why don't we escape together? And he escaped from there, and I helped him do that escape.
How?
Right.
And why didn't you go with him?
Why didn't I go with him? Because I could do the 9 year. I would only do 6. I would do about 3 in Spain and then get a transition to England, and I finished my sentence off there. I thought, okay, I can do that. Right. That's all right. Okay, I can do that. If I go on the run with Karim, I can never go back to England.
Right, because if you escape from a EU prison, the Interpol, I'm sure, shares that information, right?
Yeah, so you can't. So you got to get the out of Europe, really.
Right. Okay, so how'd you help Karim escape?
So how to help him? Right, he was in the Economato, which is like a shop on the bottom, well, sold the basics: coffee, shampoo, water, cigarettes, bollocks like that. Anyway, he was in charge of that, and we used to get all locked up at 7:00, but he was allowed to count up and do his accounts until 7:30. So he was allowed an extra half an hour on his own in the corner. And the corner was next to the wall. And there was a fridge on the wall, and he showed me. And he'd been like spooning away at it, and it was soft as the brick. Right. The brick was coming away with my thumbs because that was an old jail. Foncolent is notorious to escape from. There's been loads of escapes there.
Okay, where is this prison based? Just for people can get a sense of the, where it was located.
Okay, Alicante, Spain.
Alicante. Okay.
That's the airport, and that's where we're at.
Okay.
So the brickwork, it was an old jail. So he said, all I've got to do is get through this wall. Once I'm through here, I've got to run down there, hop over that wall, and then jump over that other wall, which is jumpable. But at the same time, there's 2 guys with shotguns on each corner, right? I went, what about the geezer with the guns then? He went, I want you to come with me. And he says, right, he wanted to go first, and he wanted me to go behind him. So if anybody gets shot, it's me.
Right.
Get it? He wanted his back covered, yeah?
Sure.
And I was thinking, listen, 9 year, yeah? No, okay, never go back to England, never see my mum again, never see my children again. That it's only 9 years. I can do the 5 or 6. I'll do that. No. I went, listen, bro, thank you, but I will help you. You know, okay. This is all I want you to do. R2, there was a German in there. He said, okay, we staged a fight, yeah? We synchronized our watches. He says, okay, I'm going to do one, yeah? Okay, at about 7:20 while I'm in there. No, yes. So while all you lot are inside, if you start a fight, all the screws will land there.
Mm-hmm.
Start a fight, the screws will land there, and it will give me my chance to run.
Right.
So we synchronized our watches, 20 past 7. I went, okay, go on then. 20 past 7, we were watching TV. The Simpsons was on, yeah? I wanted to watch The Weakest Link. So me and Alto just had an argument. I went, oi, I want to watch you to say, enough. Enough. So I just got a plastic chair, threw the chair at him. He threw one back, and then we just wrestled on the floor. Wrestling, yeah, not punching, yeah?
Yeah.
We don't want to hurt each other. So we just bam, 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 the screws, bam, whistles, they all come running. And then when that was happening, we heard doosh, doosh, bam, gun go off twice, yeah? I knew. Yeah, and Manolo knew, Artu knew. I think it was only the four of us that knew that he was going. And bam, gone. Yes, and then they went, right. And then the screws all come back. They were, right, everybody lock them all up. Wow. And then we were saying, has he got away? Has he got away? They weren't saying nothing, yeah? They weren't saying nothing. And I knew he got away.
Yeah.
Because if they'd have got him, they would have dragged his body in the yard for us to look at and went, this is what happens, yeah? Okay, don't try and run from here. And I knew he'd been away because he wasn't shot. So he got away and he sent me a postcard. Sent me a postcard from Portugal. And he goes, thank you, I love you, take care, the ghost.
Wow! And he ghosted. He lived up to his name.
Right, yes, but he got caught.
Oh, no, where?
He was Spain again. He was owed 60 grand for cocaine, a past debt. He came to collect the debt. The guy didn't want to pay him the 60 large. He'd rather just phone the feds and do you know what? Yeah, this is life, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Yeah, you've had the 60 grand of cocaine off him.
Yeah.
Pay him. No.
Right. That's what they do, though. If you're on the run, that's why wouldn't you?
Why would you pay the 60 grand when you can just get him locked up again?
Wow. So how long was he out before he got locked up again?
He was out, it wasn't that long. It was only about 4 months. And then I seen him, they brought him back up, but then they put him on the other side. Because my wing was Cat A, but there was a double Cat A where ETA were kept.
What?
ETA. These are Barcelona terrorists. They do bombs. They let the
Catalans. From Catalonia.
Yes, them, yeah. Right. There was them people.
Oh, the Basque, sorry, the Basque party.
Yes,
right. The
them,
Basque,
yes, but they were heavy.
Right.
They were there for murder, bombings. There was a few of them, and you're only allowed out one time in the yard, and you got to come back. So he was there, and I just looked at him, he looked at me, and he just gave me a little wave, and I just felt sickened. I went, you went through that process of, you were out.
Right.
You were out.
Yeah.
But he said that 60 grand. He went, I was starting over again, he said. He said, I needed that money.
Yeah. But what are you going to do behind the wall? You can't do now. So after you escaped, you get a new charge? Do they give you more time?
Yeah. For escaping as well, yeah.
So what's he doing? Is he ever getting out? I don't know.
I think you only get about 2 years for escaping.
So what is he? He's still in there, I assume?
No. He'll be out now.
Okay.
Karim will be out now. But he couldn't handle that life. He was like a big coke dealer. He was like heavy, rich, boob. He's one of them with out all the rings, dollar, bitches. Jail life, he couldn't handle it. He went, I can't handle it. He went, how can you handle it? I said, I can do it.
Yeah. You're a little grimier, though. You're kind of a thug. Yeah. A drug trafficker, a fly dude is different than a gangster.
Yeah.
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 Wow, that's wild. Was there anybody else that any other characters you remember from that prison?
Yes, loads.
Just they had a wild ass story?
Yes. Butzo. Butzo was Albanian. He was, Bosnian. He was in the Bosnian army. He was short, stocky, built he was tough. He came over to our wing because he was on Moodlu 1 first. He had a fight with somebody. If you have a fight with somebody on a different wing, they would send you onto our wing as punishment for 30 days. They would go and live with that lot for 30 days. That's what you get.
Wow.
Because it was a nightmare on our wing, yeah? Yeah. And
why? What was happening on your wing?
We're just stabbing each other.
Really?
We've all got AIDS. Doing 140 years, they're not going to get out, but you do have a single cell.
Mm-hmm.
2 doors on it, but you have your own space.
Right.
So I like that. I didn't like to share. Butzo said he was sharing his cell. Somebody who used his razor. He went, listen to me, a third of the people here got AIDS, yeah? So use his razor. He said, I just nutted him. He said, I just nutted him and he'll give him a bang, bosh, knocked him out. They sent him over our wing. But he was crazy. He told me his story, what he did. He said, I was in the Bosnian army. He said, it was he said, all you should do all day was just get stoned. It was no work. He went, all the guns and everything else was from 1965. He says, all old equipment. He says, all they do, get stoned, get high. So he went AWOL. He off. He got caught near the border by two police. They stopped him. He knew he was going to get stopped him. And then what happened, one of them pulled out his gun to shoot him, yeah? Butzo went to get the gun. He shot Butzo here. He showed me the bullet. Shot him, but he took the gun off the copper and I shot them both.
Killed him?
I don't know. He said, I shot them both. I didn't wait to see. He said, but they weren't moving about, yeah? Shot them both and went on a run to Spain. Went on a run to Spain and he was a pimp. Started to be a pimp. But they were doing it all wrong. They were getting girls in from Bosnia, bringing them in and holding them hostage, chaining them up.
Oof.
Not even letting them walk. I went, no, really? I said, I've done a Kingpin, but just let him have a walk, bro, you know?
Yeah, seriously, give him some exercise, dude. Yeah, give him some fresh air, though.
No, he said,
no.
He was saying, if I let them go, they're not going to come back. So it's one of them, yeah? I think, yeah, okay. Yep. So he had a chain. He was, so how did he get caught? He went, there was a girl from the window. She was shouting, help, help. Wow. Police come, got caught. But he had a bent lawyer. He said, I'm going to get bail. I went, and I was shocked because he was only there about 2 months. And he got bail, and his charges were a lot heavier.
Right.
And but he says, you need this lawyer. But then I could learn Spanish. And then I said, yes, I have one already now. Thanks for that. But I wish I knew you for a year and a half ago.
Wow.
So his story, Butzo was a crazy man. He wouldn't take no off anybody. He was violent. The in there, Gitanos he didn't like. He was often just, but we used to train. He was a boxer, kickboxer. He was a champion of his area. He was proper tough. So one time we were training, and then he said, okay, Chet, I'm going to go to the library for a book. I went, go on then. He went to the library. Went to the library, he knocked 2 gypsies out. In the library. Who knocks people out of the library? Right, okay. And then the gypsies came back to me and said, listen, you need words with him. If he does this again, we're going to stick him, okay? I know he's your friend. You walk around with him. We respect you, but I know you're with him, but if you're with him and it goes down, you're going to get it and all. So I said this to Butzo. I said, listen, you're going to get stuck here, yeah? Okay? Because these can't fight you. They're not tough, but they have knives, okay? You don't have a knife, you just fight. He went, man, is that what they said? They went, who said that? I went, oh, God, man. I went, listen, just calm down, yeah? I'm not going to tell you who told me, but you just calm down. He went, okay, fair enough. But then I made sure I stayed by his side.
Right.
Everywhere he went.
Wow.
Because I knew, if anything happened and I'm there, if they're pulling out knives, they're going to do me as well.
Right. Did you ever have to carry a knife, or were you pretty cool with everybody?
No, I got stabbed there twice. I stabbed somebody once.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us about the stabbings. Why'd you get stabbed, and who did it?
Why did I get stabbed? Okay. The stabbing in the first place, yeah, it's all linked. Both these stabbings are linked. Okay, well, I was only there a few days. First Carlo I met, the one who hit the guy with a bottle of vodka, the student. I was walking the yard with him. There was this other guy, Juan, who just, I don't know what he was called. He came off Moodle 1. I don't know what he'd done, but he was on punishment for 30 days. So he got sent to our wing. Anyway, he was there crying and that. And I went, what's wrong with him? So I went to Carlo, interpreter. So he asked him in Spanish. And then he repeated, he went, Juan, the main has took his pills off him. Because in Spain, in jail, they just give you pills to calm everybody down, down. Valium.
Right.
Why?
Ironically.
Valium.
Right.
They give nobody Valium.
They're giving people your Valium pills.
A bit ironic.
Right. For sure.
Yeah. And they were giving him a Valium. He took his pills off him. So I went, okay. I went, who? He went in. I went, why did you take his pills, yeah? He went, got to do with you. But this is through Carlo, the interpreter, because I didn't know in Spanish then. I went, tell him, give his pills back. And then Carlo goes, okay. And they told him, he looked at me, he went, what the fuck's it got to do with you? And I went, don't take his pills, okay? It's got everything to do with me. You got all to do about it, yeah? We'll have a fight. So Carlo told him. He went, fight? He went, okay, go on then. I went, right. I was a bit shocked he wanted to fight me, yeah, because then I was still a bit big. And he was like skinny but tall. Long hair, dark skin, Romanian. I went, all right. The showers we went to, Juan, he went with one of his other mates, and Carlo came with me. Went into the shower area where the sinks are. The mirrors are in front, the sinks are there, we're there, the showers are there, the screws, none. So I went, right, go on then. And then when I went like that, he just pulled out a blade. He went, come on then, let's go. And then Carlo said to me, Chet, take this. And then he handed me his knife. Because they all carry knives. Carlo had a knife, so he handed me his knife. I went, right, okay, go on then. Anyway, I was in like shock mode because I thought it was a fist fight. Right. I didn't realize it was a knife fight.
Right.
I was in shock mode anyway. And Juan, he came at me, he lunged at me, caught me, bam, sliced me here. When he sliced me here, I instantly just stuck him hard, bam, straight in the middle. Put him on his ass. Pulled the knife out of his hand. Carlo goes, give me the knife. Give me the knife. So I gave him the knife. He goes, right, I'll get rid of this. He went, you just go walk the yard normal. Walk the yards if it's normal. I went, right. I was just in shock mode. I didn't know what the was going on here, yeah? So I just walked the yard. And then I seen all the screws go in. Boom, took him out.
Yeah.
And then nothing got said. He didn't grass me up. He didn't say it was me.
Wow.
Right. But 6 months later down the line, his cousin came into our wing. I was training in the gym bit where I had made. There was a sink in the corner. I was washing my face. And then I just felt a bam, thud in my back. First I thought it's just like a bit of a punch. And I turned around. I didn't feel anything then at the time. And then I felt blood going down my back. Bang. And then I seen a shank. It was like a nail on a wood. It's like a long nail.
Right.
And
it was tied up with like duct tape? Or
it was tied up with
string or something?
String, yeah.
Yeah.
With, it was like the material from a bed sheet.
Yep.
Bed sheet.
Yep.
Yeah, it was all thingied up, yeah. And that was the handle.
Where did he hit you? What part of the back?
He hit me right in the middle. I've got a scar there. Hit me right in the middle. I didn't realize at the time. You must have missed all my arteries.
Yeah, I missed a
lot.
lot.
Then I just banged him, yeah. And then I seen that and I went, do I get that and stab him? But I was that paranoid and getting extra jail. Yeah. So I would get another 8 years, 10 years. And I'm thinking, I just want to get the out of it, man.
Right.
So I just left it. And then I went to Carlo. I went, listen, what do I say? He says, pretend you don't know Spanish. He said, I'll do the talking for you. He helped me out. So I just said, I've fallen back, but I was saying it in English. And then the school was saying, you know Spanish. I went, no. I went, listen, I just fallen back. And then Carlo said something. They knew what went down, I think, yeah. Right. And then it took me to the hospital wing, stitched it up, and I come back. Him, who I hit, was still on the wing. But he was due to go the next day. He waited till the 29th day. He was there for 30 days to stab me.
Wow.
Because he knew he was going to go the next day in case I killed him afterwards.
Right. So thank God he did leave, or else somebody might have had to get killed.
Yeah.
So people would get extra sentences for stabbing people.
For stabbing people, yeah. You get 8 to 10 years on top.
Okay. But, these guys are getting hit with so much time. At a certain point, you don't give a
No, you don't give a and then you share needles, don't you? You just get AIDS, you don't give a
That's what I would be so scared of. Like, that's what, like somebody stabbing me with their AIDS needle, right? Like, I would be so paranoid. I would give those guys whatever they wanted. Just stay away from me, freak.
Well, I'll give you an example of this. Yeah. AIDS people wants to fight me.
That's a scientific term, by the way.
I've got scars here of my hands. I've got scars on my hands here of AIDS people. I've hit them. I've had their blood on my blood. My hands have been cut. I was convinced I had AIDS.
Right.
Towards the end of my sentence, I was sharing joints with them and everything. Because I was convinced I did. I didn't give a because I thought I had AIDS. Because my hands, and their blood, they got AIDS. I'm like, well, you got it now. You got it now. You're now. That's what they say after a fight.
Wow. So you thought you had AIDS. So you must have felt like life was never going to be the same. If you're okay with that.
Yeah.
If you're accepting that, you must have been like, oh, my life is pretty much over.
Yeah.
So you reached a pretty low place for a while. while you were there, mentally and psychologically and emotionally.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was hard on your family.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. The other AIDS thing as well is what like concerned me was mosquitoes. I went, they go from one AIDS victim, they suck his fucking blood, and then they're jumping on me. So I went, listen, so can you get AIDS that way? They went, no, the mosquitoes suck in, they don't blow
out. They don't put out. They just suck.
They just suck, yeah.
Oh, they're like your ex-wife. They just take. They no give. That's hilarious. That's an old joke.
Yes.
Some black comedian, Corey Holcomb in the United States, he goes, man, I was more terrified than a mosquito coming from Magic Johnson's room. I think it is kind of actually difficult. So when did you get tested? None of you didn't think to go down and get tested as soon as you hit an AIDS person?
In Spain, I asked for an AIDS test. They said, no, fuck you. I got tested when I got out of jail in England. They said, no, you don't have it. And I went, no chance. So I went and got another test. I didn't believe them the first time around. I went, no, you can't be. Because the kitchens as well, where the staff work, if you have AIDS, you get a cushion number. The kitchens, the staff in the kitchens, blood clots they get, spit them in the food. Because if they've got AIDS, they want everybody else to get it, don't they? You know? Do you know if you've got it? If you're dying, you want everybody else to die as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's their mentality.
Savage. And they don't segregate those people, obviously.
No, there's no segregation.
Right.
This is what I'm saying. In England, it won't be like that, you know? They would put them in a different,
right.
They would take care of them.
Yeah.
Give them what they need, give them the medication, give them the care, what they need.
Yeah.
You stick them in with all the gangsters, killers, rapists, drug dealers, murderers, Boom, all in the same pot.
So you were about how 3 years into your sentence when you found out you got a lawyer that told you could pay your way out?
That was about 2 years. No, about 1.5 years through.
Okay.
1.5 years through, yeah. My first lawyer was a load of bollocks. They kept me on remand for over 2 years because they thought I had money in Spain. They thought I had a yacht, maybe a house, cars, blah, blah, blah. They wanted to just take it all off me. So they did the investigation, but I had no there. Call.
Right.
They just took off me what I had on me.
Right.
Some cash, my jewels, my rings, my watches, bam, bam, bam.
Okay. So, but at what point were you able to pay your way out?
What time was I got talking to Antonio, and then he said to me, okay, this is a process, yeah? I will get you to court. And he fast forwarded it all through.
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing was this, if I knew Spanish and got talking to the important people in the beginning,
you could have been out within months.
Yes. But it was a fact of not knowing the language.
Crazy.
And the barrier facts, they didn't accept me and I didn't know. Right. So that was factual. Yeah. So it's when I learned Spanish, they said, right, this is what you want. And he was very, very effective. And even in the end, I didn't do the full 3.5. I got out 2 months earlier because he got me expulsion.
Right.
I'm not allowed to enter Spain for 10 years.
Right.
If I enter Spain for 10 years, then I have to do the full sentence.
So you signed an agreement.
Yes.
No more Spain for 10 years.
So that was the agreement to leave 2 months earlier. I went, right, okay, I'll take that one.
Okay, but when you actually gave that 11 grand to your lawyer so he could go pay the judge, was there a written agreement? Okay, this knocks off 5 years from your sentence?
Zero.
Nothing like that?
Zero. It's just, he just told me, transfer me this money from England into this account and I'll do it.
Wow.
But I trusted him because the other boys, they had him and they said, he's the one. He's the one.
Wow. Okay, so, and did you get out right away after you transferred the money?
No, after transferred the money, we went to court. They said cuatro medio año, 4.5 years. Mm-hmm. We were like, wow, okay. We were expecting 9 año.
Right.
No.
So you hadn't even been sentenced at this point.
No.
This is what's so crazy. And I don't think people quite understood that. Like you had been waiting to go to court, but in prison. You had been doing a prison bid and hadn't even been sentenced yet.
Yeah.
And it took you 2 years basically, and then paying the money to go before the judge, and he gave you a 4.5 year sentence.
Yes.
That is wild.
Right.
That is crazy. In America, you're in jail. You wouldn't be in a penitentiary doing time like you're doing life.
Yes, I know. Jail and prison are two different things. Yeah,
but not in Spain, not in places like that, dude. That's crazy. Okay, that makes sense. So you did about 3 and change total?
3.5. Yeah, shy of about a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you came home, and what year was that? You got back to England?
2002.
All right. Did you come home with any money? You must have.
Zero. I had money because I was the money lender on the wing. Right. This is a funny story. Yeah. When they told me, because I was training in the gym, the screw shouted out, Sandhu. I went, what? He goes, you're going home. Your papers have come through. I went, what? He went, you got expulsion. You can't come back to Smith for 10 years. You're a lawyer. He's a good lawyer. He knew as well. Yeah, he's giving me all that way. Really? And when all the other people knew I was going, and all this, they were, oh, Chet, can I have your jacket? Can I have your shoes? Can I have your... So I gave everything away. Yeah. Give all my away. Do you know all my hoard, what I had in my cell. I just gave it all away back to them all.
You gave I
was that happy.
Your whole 7-Eleven store, you gave it away, right? Nice.
I gave it all away to everybody, and I was left with a pair of shorts and a vest. I had money and hashish.
Okay.
I had money and hashish. I shoved them up my ass.
Oh.
So I was still, even when I got out of jail, I still smuggled hashish out of jail. So this is like crazy in that way, yeah? I'm in there for drugs, but I'm taking drugs out of jail as well because I'm not going to waste it, yeah? So I stuck it in my ass. I got took to Gatwick Airport, handcuffed. Me and the 2 mules, they cleared the back 12 seats. There was 2 good marshals there. Make sure I got a Gatwick. They did a check on me if I'm wanted in England. No warrants for me. They went, right, took the cuffs off, you're free to go. And that was it.
Wow. And what happened to the mules? Did they live happily ever after? Did they get their act together?
Yes, they stayed together. They stayed together for a few years.
Oh, because they were a couple, yeah.
Yes, they had 3 children together.
Wow.
Yeah. They're all good. I'm still in touch with them now.
Oh, wow.
Yes. One of the mules now works for the NHS. He's doing really well.
Great.
Yeah. They're all doing good.
Wow.
They said, they don't hate me for it. They said it learned them a lot. It taught them. It taught them about life.
Yeah.
Stuff they will never learn on the out. That taught them.
Yeah.
They went, we're so thankful for that.
Yeah.
In a strange way.
Yeah. But you weren't like that. You were not rehabilitated.
Nah.
I mean, now it's different. But in 2002, you came home still bitter, still angry.
Yeah.
But you've proved yourself in the streets, though. Like people knew you as Chet, the Kingpin, Chet, the guy who will beat the out of you.
Yeah.
Chet, the guy that rolls with gangsters.
Yes.
So did you, when you got home back to England, did you have a plan to go straight, or did you know you were hitting the streets?
Right, there was no plan. The plan was when I left Spain, I thought if I could go through that and if I could make money there where I made it. I made money in the, right, okay, we are talking the worst jail, the worst wing in Europe. If you can make money there from murderers, killers, people with AIDS, if you can make money there, you can make money anywhere. So my mentality was this: I'm going to make money again. So I'm going to do it all again. So now I'm going to involve with cocaine.
Yeah.
I just took it to a higher level. I thought I was King Kong when I left that jail. There was no rehabilitation, no nothing. They just take you from your cat cell, handcuffed, and put you on the plane and set you free. Yeah. There's no talking to me. Nobody explained anything to me to be, is my mind ready?
Right.
I've been stabbed there. I've had stabbings. I've been killed. You know, it's like mental. You need a little bit of counseling. Yeah. I got zero. So I was straight back in the world.
So it emboldened you to be a harder criminal.
Yeah.
It's kind of like surviving getting shot.
Yes.
Now I'm like, can't be touched. That was your mentality.
Yes.
So you went to cocaine.
Yeah.
You're back in Newcastle?
Yep.
Now tell us about the coke trade then. We know now that mostly it's an Albanian, at least the news says that it's now in 2024, it's mostly an Albanian dominated business on the import side. Back in 2002, what did the cocaine landscape, the cocaine traffic, how did it work in England?
Okay, the cocaine trafficking then, it was coming through on the ports on the west side of England, Liverpool, Cumbria. These are the places where I used to get it from because the boats were coming directly from there and they would hit England on this side. So that's where I was getting it from the source.
Wow. The ships coming from South
America. The cocaine
America.
I got was 84% proof forensics, which was immense.
Wow.
Pink flake, all in layers, all glass. As soon as you broke it up, the smell, the aura of it, and it's pure oil-based. Beautiful. The best.
Did you know who was bringing it in? Was it the Irish gangs or was it coming from South America? Like who facilitates the big loads?
The big loads, okay. There's big loads. It's English people that organize this. They come from Venezuela, Bolivia. Some of them take their yachts over themselves. They can drive their yachts. What they do is get hired help from that side. Hired help, they pay them to bring the stuff over, bam, bam, bam. But when they're nearly to shore, they pop the hired help, throw them overboard. And so there's no witnesses to anything, and then they just do what they want.
Wow. Just like with migrant smuggling.
Yes.
Same thing.
Pop them, because they're nobody's at a day. They don't have no links. They don't even have a passport or anything. No identity. These people are easy to take out because they can't go to anybody.
So, and these are the guys that you were getting it from?
Yeah. These people were bringing it into Cumbria. They were farmers. They had loads of land. They had the cocaine buried all over the farm, different plots. I would go meet them, and then they would go, okay, we're going to go dig it up. But they wouldn't show me where. I would have to wait in a certain area, and they would dig it up.
Wow. And these are white Brits?
Yes.
Wow. And how much were you buying from them?
I was buying from them a kilo at a time.
And they would just sell you just 1 kilo?
Yeah.
What were you paying?
Paying for a kilo then, 25 grand.
That is cheap.
But it's 84% proof.
Right. So you're you can't get a better deal.
No.
Wow.
No.
Okay. So then how are you moving that? Where do you go?
How do I move that? Okay. Some people would move that. I would move that really in quarters, quarter of an ounce. Forgot what I was charging people then. It depends who I sold the cocaine to. If it was people who know their I would give it them as it is, but I would tell them and I would charge them accordingly. And they said, well, that's expensive. I went, yeah, but have a look at it.
Sure.
Right, yeah.
Right.
To other people, I would bash it up 50-50.
Right.
But it's still coming in at 40% proof. It's good enough for them. Because you don't want to give all these people too high grade neither, because they take it like idiots. When they make a line, they make it huge. Yeah, you don't need that.
No.
You need a little bit, and you only need it about once every 45 minutes to an hour.
Right.
But these people just take it every 5 minutes because it's not doing you the business.
Right.
It's 5% proof. It's
yeah, that's what you're saying. Most of the coke, your competition, most coke gets sold on the street at 5% purity in England.
Yeah.
Crazy. So if you're selling it at 40, you're killing the game.
Yes.
So you were just selling to users. You weren't selling to other drug dealers.
I was selling to other drug dealers, yeah. Some people would buy off me quarter of a kilo.
Mm-hmm.
I would sell that to them. That's called like a 9 bar.
Mm-hmm. I
would sell them that. But in general, it was like smaller amounts, and I would make a lot of money off that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I had my customers, only a few of them, and they would just buy it regular.
Right.
So
what off of 25,000 for a kilo, what could you turn that into if you sold it outright?
The 25 would probably turn into about, depends what sold to, about 80 grand.
It's good business.
Yeah.
It's good business and low risk. Now, is there a DEA type police force in England that is dedicated to drugs on a federal level?
Yes.
What are they called?
Well, they're different here, yeah. This one was called Crime Team North. The drug squad, they don't actually have like a drug-based like DEA force agency. It's just like a crime team. What we'll get together and then they concentrate on you. Like when I was doing this, I had 21 police officers watching me alone.
Wow.
It cost them 5.5 million to bring us to court.
Okay. Is there like the United States is a federation, right?
Yeah.
We're not we're a republic, but we're broken up by 50 different federations, 50 states.
Yeah.
So you can get charged on a state level, and then you can get charged by the United States federal government on a federal level, right?
Yeah.
Is there a delineation like that in the British legal system? Are there regional charges versus federal charges, or does it all just go to one judicial?
It's just one court here, one charge.
And that's like the Queen's Court, or what do they call that?
The Queen's Court is called.
Oh, like what do they call it? What do they call?
Crown Court. Got a Crown Court, and when you go to jail, it's HMP, Her Majesty's Prisons.
Wow. Okay, so that's just if you're if you get a DUI or you get caught with 100 kilos of coke, it's all to the Crown.
Yes.
Her Majesty's prison.
If it's minor, it goes to a magistrate's court. They're only allowed to give you, though, a sentence of 6 months maximum.
Right.
So if it's anything heavier, they will send you to Crown Court.
Okay. I see. Fascinating. I wonder if that's efficient. Like, I wonder, we're talking to a cop this week.
Yep.
I wonder if, I wonder who stops more drugs, our country or yours. Who knows?
Who stops?
Because we have so many different law enforcement wings and so many different classifications, but we're a gigantic country too. Maybe here that's not necessary. I don't know. Now, when cops raid like some drug dealers, like a big drug dealer, I got 21 cops watching you.
Uh-huh.
Do they come in with guns?
They did when I got arrested. Yeah.
Okay, and because for people who don't know, ordinary beat cops, bobbies in England, just cops, riding around. They aren't armed. They don't have guns on them.
No.
So if you get raided by a team with guns, that's called like the armed
response.
Right. Okay.
Yes, because if you're known to have firearms history, dealing in firearms, they won't take a risk. So you will get armed response who come arrest you.
Right. Did you carry a gun while you were selling coke?
Didn't carry a gun, but I had guns.
You had guns?
Yeah.
How do you get, because guns are pretty hard to get in England, right?
Yeah. They're hard to get, but you can get them. They're only cheap, £300.
Right.
But you don't know where they've been used. You don't know who's used them before, who's been killed with what, bam, bam, bam. They just go through the circulation. So you get it, but you only use it one time. One time you use it, and then you have to chuck it.
Right. Okay. So people get shot to death in the game in Britain still.
Yeah.
Right. Was there any of that? Did you hear of any of that while you were in the game? Like
people getting shot, yeah. People get shot, stabbings, yeah.
There was prostitution going on at this time?
Yes.
So at the same time you were selling coke, you were like pimping girls out?
Right. I was security. There was a boss. It was a network, what we had working hand in hand with the police. The police were happy with what we were doing because we cleared the streets of streetwalkers. We cleared the streets. Newcastle is the only city in all of England where you don't get no streetwalkers because we cleared them all. We said, if you want to work, you got to work for us in an apartment. We'll put you in a flat and you pay us rent and then you pay us and then you do what you want. But we cleared it. The police were happy with this.
Wow.
We even had a copper with us, a policeman who got 7 years because he was giving us information on raids and tip-offs and what the police were going to do. And all he wanted in return was to the prostitutes.
You can get cops so easily. In Pakistan, you're paying them off with porno mags. Here, it's just the real thing.
Sex again, yeah. Well, yeah, it's sex, yeah. You can pay anybody off for sex, really.
Not me. I want cash, dude. I've had all the sex.
I'm me.
I don't want any more sex.
It's only $1
I
for
want
me,
money.
bro.
You were telling me, didn't you had competition, right? Last time we talked, you said you like ran up on some competitors running a brothel with like a sledgehammer.
Yes. Okay, how we used to do, yeah? Back then, there was no internet. If you other people opened up a brothel, you would have to advertise in the Daily Sport, which is a newspaper here, a seedy newspaper, but you have an ad in the back, bam, a new girl 5-star service. Right. So we would check these daily to see if there's any new ones. And if there's a new one, we will get like a punter, yeah, like another mule who will send around, okay, you're a pretend organizer, you're going to go for this bird, because then they were scared of us.
Right.
So what they used to do was you would have to go to a phone box and phone their number, and then they can see who's calling out of the window because it would make sure they can see who you are. And then they would say, okay, enter the house. And we would make sure it's some fat old bloke. Yeah, so
Right.
stuff like that. But then there's us three, masks, machetes, chainsaws. We'd be there hiding. As soon as that door is open, we just walk inside and say, right, who are you working for? Send your pimps down here, okay? Because we're taking over this now.
Wow.
So call him. She would call him. They wouldn't come down. Yeah, because we're waiting there with tools.
Yeah.
They never come down. We say, right, now we're taking over. Now you have to work for us.
And that's how you take a spot over.
Yeah.
That's like a Guy Ritchie film.
Yeah.
Coming in with chainsaws and bats. Like old school British gangsterism.
Yes, but that's what we did, yeah.
Wow. And at this point in the night, this is the 2000s actually.
Yeah.
Are cameras going up everywhere? Like,
there
did you
was
guys
cameras, but not many. Not many.
Especially not up north in Newcastle.
Yeah,
it's not like in the middle of London.
Not many, no. Not many. But we were free and easy to do what we do there. We had a lot of fear here. People feared us of what we were doing. We would go everywhere, anywhere, and just take the piss, basically.
Yeah.
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 I was in that mode, but we were getting watched by the police.
Right.
Didn't realize I was taking cocaine at the time. My head was a bit all over the place, as it is in that world.
Yeah, sure. So when did that all end?
That all ended in 2003. We got arrested. And we got arrested. I had a quarter of a kilo of cocaine in my car. I'd just been to Cumbria. They'd been following me. They knew my actions. They just did me a stop, bam, check, got me. And then they ran through everything else, all the other charges, bam, bam, bam. This is what you've been doing. But we're going to send you on bail. They said, what's that in the glove compartment? I went, washing powder. Because I say that, I get bail. If I tell them it's cocaine, I go to jail. Remand. So I said, washing powder. They went, right. So you're free until we go and test it. So once I've tested it, and then they can come and arrest me. So it gives me a few days.
So did you think about running?
No.
What did you think? So you were only on the street after you got back from Spain for
about a year and a bit, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So they arrest you, try you, and they've stacked all these other charges, like a conspiracy.
Yes.
What were some of the other charges?
There was a kidnap charge. The other charges were conspiracy to supply cocaine, controlling prostitution, and blackmail.
Blackmail?
Blackmail, yeah.
What was that about?
Blackmail is because we're telling the prostitutes you have to pay, you have to work for us. You have to pay us rent, and you are allowed to earn. But the rent was only £60 a day. Some of them were making £1,000 a day.
Right.
So they were on a good deal.
Yeah, you weren't human trafficking like your friend in Serbia, Bosnia.
No.
Yeah.
No, nothing like that.
So they call that blackmail? That's weird.
That's blackmail.
Were you threatening to go to their families with the information if they didn't pay?
Well, we said if you don't pay, and then you're going to come to a bad end.
Okay, that's called, that's not blackmail.
Isn't it? Well,
no. Blackmail is when I film you're married.
Oh, I get you.
And you're cheating, and I go to you and I say, give me money or I'm going to tell your wife. That's blackmail.
You're right. Okay, yeah. But they named this as blackmail as well. Because if you don't work for us, and then you're going to get hurt. So apparently that's blackmail.
Oh, well. I mean, that's just what you guys call it.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a American.
Yeah.
When I hear something in a different country that I don't like, I get mad and I get judgmental, and I say it shouldn't be that way. But that's my problem.
Sure.
And I got to deal with that.
Yes.
So you got charged with blackmail.
Yes.
Kidnapping,
right. The kidnap charge. One of my co-defendants started to money lend to drug dealers. He lent this money to this prostitute's boyfriend. She used to work for us. She had a boyfriend, drug dealer. He wanted £2,000. My associate wanted, £2,000 on the Monday and £3,000 back on the Friday. That was the deal. He didn't pay the money, so we went to kidnap his girlfriend, held her hostage, 4 of us, There was knives, crossbows. She was terrified, but I made her feel easy, yeah? I said, listen, no harm will come to you, yeah? But the others were like coked up, sniffing, going, we're going to kill him. We're going to kill your man when we get a hold of him. Where is he? You better get him here now. So she was trying to phone. Listen, yeah, just be cool, yeah? This will work out. I went, but he has to answer. Anyway, he did answer. He said, okay, he'll drop off the money in a dustbin bin outside Greg's, which is like a shop on Shields Road. He went, I'm going to put the money in a blue bag. I'm going to stick it in the bin. You bring the girl. And once I see the bag, and then I'll let the girl go. I went, okay. So he got the money together. He put it in the bin. I took the girl myself, took her to the Greg's. I seen the blue bag in the bin. Got it out. Bam, good. Then I said to the girl, okay, walk.
Wow. Yeah.
But we went to court because we had a few charges: conspiracy to supply cocaine, blackmail, controlling prostitution, and kidnap. They said if you plead guilty to the first three, we'll drop the kidnap.
Okay.
So it was a deal. So I took that deal on.
What did you take?
I took that deal on. If you drop the kidnap.
How many years?
7.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
You know, in America, you get 20 for that.
Yeah,
no problem. Especially kidnapping.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so 7 years. We'll switch over to the Patreon to talk about prison in England.
Okay.
But wow, that's an incredible life story. What do you think? You know, there's a lot, right? There's a lot. You have many layers to you. You know, you're a very redeemable guy. Like, you're not an evil guy. You saw a lot of evil. You saw, you know, horrendous things that these associates of yours were doing, but you always had like a line, you know? And ironically, these gangsters you were rolling with were white.
Yep.
Being abused by white people so long, and now you're like one of them. Did you feel like, did you feel some kind of way like, oh, I am accepted in the underworld?
Yes.
Finally?
Yes. It was these people when I was younger, I was terrified of. I was scared of. I was thinking, wow, look at these. I never thought I would be one of them people, ever.
Right.
I never thought that as a young boy with a stutter, Asian kid, stuck in that shop. I never thought I would rise to that level. It never even occurred to me, but it just happened. It just happened with the associates I met, how I met them, the way I presented myself. I gave them a quality product to everybody.
Yeah.
Everything I sold, whether it be pills, steroids, or cocaine, it's quality. I didn't rip anybody off, and I did business like I'm selling anything. You know, it could be anything. It's just business minded. I used to sell alcohol, food supplements, meat in the shop, and then I sold clothing. And now I'm selling drugs. Yeah. I'm just selling.
Right.
The prostitution, I was security on that. When the girls had any grief, they would call us. If there was a punter coming in, taking cocaine, wants to slap them about, they would phone us. There was incidents where customers have come in, taxed our girls, them. Okay, well, it is if you don't pay them.
Right.
So, classic, you don't pay.
Right.
And so they've done that, and we've took these people out, followed them, found out where they are in nightclubs. And my associate, once he was on a nightclub. This guy, he taxed one of our girls, took money off her. He was like a known figure. He was on a dance floor, a nightclub. Bam, hi, bam. My associate went, dance floor, stabbed him 11 times in the ass.
Jesus.
In the ass, bam, bam, bam. You can't kill anybody if you stab him in the ass. Right, stabbed him 11 times in the ass, and then we went to the security and went, right, okay, hand over all the CCTV you got. And they handed it all over. They were terrified of us. Yeah. We had the free to do what we wanted.
Yeah.
Go anywhere we wanted and do what we want.
Yeah. You had that power.
We had
so
that
now
power.
You would achieve this thing that you were raised in a powerless situation. And the whole society, the courts, the cops, they didn't protect you from the abuse, none of it. And now you had finally overcome that through rolling with these people.
Yes.
We just cracked the code right there. You don't even need to go see a therapist.
Yeah. I got to the highest level on that
Yeah.
Whether that I wanted that in the first place, I don't know.
What do you, when you look back, like, what do you think you learned? Like, how did you grow out of that life after you got out of prison? Was it just the fear of going back that kept you straight? Or?
It was, yeah. It was my mother. I can do the jail, but my mother can't. It hurt her too much, man. It killed her off. She goes, you don't need to do this. We have good links. We have a good family. We have money. You don't need to do any of this. Right. My family members, they stuck by me. And then that's when I moved on to working with my cousins, Asian cousins. But what they were doing were importing alcohol, bootlegging.
Yeah. Yeah, let's save that for the Patreon. So I want to hear about that. Your parents, your poor parents. Do you resent your father?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Because I wanted to go to art college. I wanted to go to art college. I wanted to do things. I wanted to be an artist. He didn't let me. He just wanted me to be a staff member. Stuck me on the till. And it got that right. The racism was that bad, yeah? I'm going to give you an example here. On Saturdays in England, back then, Saturdays, pubs, boozers would close. They would open from 11 and then close at 3 o'clock. And then they reopened at 5 o'clock. This was a law. So they didn't stay open all day because they don't want people to get drunk all day in England, apparently back then, yeah? So what happened, we had 2 boozers on either side of our shop. And a social club and another boozer, and they all used to close at 3 o'clock. And then what happened then, there were about 30 men in the 30s and 40s just used to pile into the shop, steal, take what they want, abuse me, do what they wanted. I couldn't do nothing. And my dad was there at first, but he couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle it, He couldn't handle these geezers coming in, so he decided to take that day off. So he left me on my own with the staff members. So I handle all that on my own. Loads of times where people steal something, had a bottle of vodka down the pants, they'd come and pay for a pie, 60 pence. And I said, well, what about the bottle of vodka you got on your pants? He went, well, I'll come around the back of that till and jump all over your blackhead. How does that sound to you? Nothing I'll do about it. Can't even phone the police because it's not even an offence. So I went, okay. But these are the people I tracked down. I did a Charles Bronson on all this, and I f***ed them all up. They see me now and they look away, and I know who they are. I don't recognize them, but they recognize me. They know me, and I know who they are by when I see them and they put their head down. Oh, you're putting your fucking head down for a reason. You've obviously abused me in the past. So I just get this in my head where I will just still go at them.
There's some forgiveness that I think you still need to achieve.
Yeah.
I think you should start with your father, because do you understand that he just, even though he worked you in a little store, it's better than growing up on the border of in Punjab in India? Do you recognize the sacrifices that he made for you guys?
Yes.
You can at least appreciate that.
Yes, I do appreciate that. But also, when I was living with my father, for the first year, my sister was still in schooling in Huddersfield in Yorkshire. So it was just me and my dad there. I had to cook, clean, was never allowed out until I was 21. I was 21 until I even kissed a girl. I had no life, zero life, because my old man had me on serious lockdown. So I had a lot of built up on me, It wasn't only the white guys spitting on me, calling me a packy. I had my old man beating me up as well. I was 18 years old, I had some hair on my lip, a little bit of a tash. The staff members in the shop used to take the piss out of me, bum fluff, So I shaved it off. My dad come back from the pub, seen I shaved it off, and he beat me up. If you're having a shave, not allowed to. Should have asked him first.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hard, man.
Get it? I cook, clean, work, and take. This has made me the person I am. I know sometimes I'm still not right in the head. I react on that. I just snap like that on the slightest little thing, which I shouldn't do. But I do it. It happens all the time. I need to get my head around that because I'm just used to taking And then I got to a point where I take zero tolerance. And now I'm still at that point. It's still like jail mode is still in my head. Like I stand on my back of the wall. Yeah, I don't want anybody walking behind me. If anyone's behind me, I don't like it. I like to see everything in front of me, know my environment, know where I am. If anything happens, I react. Like my girlfriend says, you're still in jail mode. You still have that mentality of you're in jail. You're not in jail. When these people are talking to you, you don't need to react like you do. But I don't know why I do that. But I do that. But it's not just a jail. I think it's just a shit I fucking took. It's not normal to take all that shit. But I did give it all back.
Well, what I would say is, evolution is overcoming what your family did to you. That's what evolution is. It's if you don't evolve, you're going to die. I evolved from, the chains, the mental chains that my own family had put on themselves just through genetics, just through years of the cycle, it being done to them. And I threw it off. Yeah. And I would never change a thing because it's my proudest accomplishment. And I had it way easier than you. I was never beat or anything like that. There was abuse, but it's not like Indian immigrant 80s abuse, right? So it's not your fault, but I think you do yourself a disservice. And you know that when you're locked up and you're like, man, you people walk around with their chest puffed out on the yard like, nah, the other man got me this way. That's what they say in the States. The other man meaning the government, the white guys, white society, they got me this way. No. You let them. And so what I would say is, Chet, I love kicking it with you, man. You're a good guy. There's a lot of good in you. More good, I would say, than not. And you're a fly guy. You're a get money guy. So I would just I really appreciate you coming on, man. It's going to help some people. You relaying your story, Yes, I hope so, man. Yeah. Seriously. How do you feel? Do you feel good talking about it at least?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, yeah. No.
Don't snap on us.
Yeah. No. I'm all good with it, man. It's all good, this, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's good to help people, because I get a lot of messages of people, Asian boys in a similar position to me. They say, okay, I'm going through a similar thing with you. How do I handle it? How do I handle these white people just give me shit? I went, well, do you have a structure there? Any friends? And they go, no. And I think, man, well, you're a bit like me, I went, I can't tell you to pick up a knife or a hammer, but that's the answer. Pick up a hammer. Next time they come on, you pick up a hammer and say, let's go, baby. Let's go for it.
You know what I would say? You know what Joe Rogan used to do? Yeah. Because he was a short little, got picked on. He learned jujitsu. He built his body up. And he never had to fight anybody because through the process of martial arts and weightlifting, he started to carry himself with an aura of confidence, and nobody really ever tried him
because he has that capability in him.
Exactly,
people can see it. Yeah,
exactly. So instead of a hammer, I would say make yourself the hammer.
Yes.
So where can the people find you, man?
Where can people find me? On Facebook, Instagram. Chet Sandhu 666. My website, chetsandhu.com.
Okay.
Facebook, I'm on there.
What do you sell? What's on the website? You have a book?
I have books out, yeah. Self-Made, Dues Paid. I bought you a copy down as well.
Awesome.
That's my life story, but that takes me up to 2002. After the end of the Spanish sentence. And then I'm going to write my second book.
Cool.
From 2002 onwards.
Yeah, hell yeah. And we're going to put the link to that book in the description and all your social media and everything like that.
Cool.
And, we need more people in England. We do have some fans here though. So reach out to you, man. He's approachable. He's a really nice guy. We swear, he's reformed.
Sure.
And
that help. Yeah.
And we're going to switch over to Patreon now, talk a little bit more. But yeah, Chet, glad we finally got to sit down in person. This was a killer interview.
Yes.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you for everything as well.
Patreon.com/TheConnect with the one and only Chet Sandhu, Newcastle's baddest Take care, guys.
Right, guys.